Hello everyone and welcome to this video going over the 1.9.2 patch notes. So some significant changes were made in this hotfix patch, and that is why I am making this video about the changes. The first big change that this patch implemented is the Howling Grounds event. Now I have a separate video going over everything you need to know about this event, so I will link it here. And you can go check it out if you want to know what that's all about. That Howling Grounds event is going to last for about 2 weeks or so. So take advantage of it while you can. Now let's move on to some other changes made in this patch. Alright, so this patch, they made a lot of UI changes. So if I just go to my killer here, you can see if I mouse over my rank, it says what your rank is, and you can no longer see your pips under your rank. They are now in this description box, so you have to mouse over to see what your pips are. Then you can mouse over shards, and it will tell you what shards are. You can mouse over blood points, it'll tell you what blood points are. They also made these icons a lot smaller than they used to be. And then they moved the character info here, so you can see that. And you probably noticed that difficulty at the top. Well, if you go to our killers and you mouse over all of them, they have a difficulty setting. And they also changed the descriptions of each killer to kind of describe how you're supposed to play that killer and what their 3 perks are. They kind of summarize that killer in a few short sentences. So it makes it more user-friendly to new players, because if you're a new player, just reading how their power works doesn't really tell you much about how it works in-game exactly, or how easy or hard it is to use in-game. And then if you go to survivors, they also have a difficulty as well. I'm pretty sure this difficulty is supposed to reflect how difficult it is to play with those survivors' 3 unique perks. But even then, it seems a bit off, because you would think Lori would be at least easy since she has the perk Decisive Strike, which makes the game a lot easier. And yeah, so I'm not completely sure about the difficulty for survivors, but I think it's supposed to be based off how hard it is to play with their 3 unique perks only. If you go to Shrine here, they now have this. Teachable perks may appear in any character blood web once unlocked, and if you mouse over any of them, it says unlocking this perk makes it available. And the last change they made to the UI is the addition of having tutorial windows pop up whenever you enter a menu screen for the first time. Now, I do not have a video of this, but I do have some screenshots of what these tutorial windows look like. And as you can see, depending on which menu you go to first, it will tell you the description of the menu you are in, what you can do in it, and then it will also give you other things that you can click on to learn more about those specific items that are in the menu. If you do not need these tutorials, you can just click the Hide All Tutorials button, and you will not get these appearing at all. Let's move on to the Survivor changes. So the Survivor perk Borrow Time saw a change this patch. It is now unlimited uses, but it only protects the survivor on the hook. So it no longer protects the person that saves from the hook, it only protects the person on the hook. But it has unlimited uses. And then the next change is a general change that says, players now receive a notification the first time they are affected by another player's perks. So survivor perks and killer perks will notify you. So this currently applies to the perks Leader, Streetwise, Dying Light, Thanatophobia, and Unnerving Presence, and the notification you receive is basically on the left-hand side of your screen, where it informs you of other perks such as Hex Rune and Hex Lullaby, or Sprint Burst and Exhaustion, and your blood point generation, it will now include these perks that I just said on it. Now I don't have a video of every single perk activating, but you get the idea. Now we have the game-changing mechanics here in the killer changes. First, a change that was made to all killers is that they fixed an issue that made it impossible to rescue a dying survivor with a pallet or flashlight while being picked up or dropped mid-animation. Now, the pickup or drop animation will play fully, followed by the flashlight or pallet stun. This means that getting killer grass saves now is incredibly easy because it does not matter when you throw the pallet or blind the killer. As long as you get the stun or the blind, the killer will drop that survivor. And this is the most game-changing thing in this patch. It is clear that this change was not implemented in the way they intended it to be, and so they have said that they will be reverting it because right now it's way too overpowered and it makes survivors just really... It makes it way too easy for survivors to get those killer grass saves, so do not worry, they are working on reverting it. Now let's move on to the killer specific changes. First, we have a big change to Doctor. When you are in Madness 3 now, you can no longer use your items. You can't use flashlights, medkits, keys, maps, nothing. Here I am pressing M2 and my map is not channeling at all. So the prompt to use your item will remain on the screen. It is just when you press that button, nothing will happen. You just cannot use it. You need to snap out of it before you can regain the use of your item. Next is a change to Nurse, which says that she can now get stunned by pallets during her blink. If the pallet is dropped on her when she is in between blinks or blinking through the pallet, she will get stunned immediately and therefore her blink would be interrupted. So Nurse can no longer chain blinks through pallets. She does get affected by pallets now like any other killer. Now the pallet stun does not stack with her fatigue stun. The pallet stun and fatigue stun will happen at the same time. So keep this in mind when you're playing against nurses because pallets will be a useful tool to get away from her now. And then finally, they adjusted the pig's blood point generation again. Her successful hit after an ambush dash gives 250 blood points instead of 200, and then starting an ambush dash gives 50 blood points instead of 100. One of her dailies has also been adjusted, so it now requires 4 successful dash attacks with the pig. And there you have all the changes made in this 1.9.2 patch. If you want to see all the bug fixing they did, I will link the patch notes in the description below and you can go check them out. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this video informative, and as always, good luck out there in the fog, and see ya next time.